Have you ever wondered what happens when someone is everything they could ever want? Power, wealth, respect. What comes next? Today, we're diving deep into the story of a king who had it all and then discovered something even greater. This is the tale of the king who outgrew his throne. Imagine a ruler so magnificent that his name echoed through generations. King Solomon. Once, he ruled over everything his eyes could see. Gold flowed like rivers in his kingdom, and the most powerful kings from distant lands bowed before him, eager to hear his legendary wisdom. His every desire was met, his every command obeyed. He was the pinnacle of power, the very definition of success. But as the years passed, a strange transformation began. The older Solomon grew, the quieter his spirit became. The clamor of the court, the glitter of gold, the praise of men, it all started to feel hollow. He had spent his youth chasing greatness, and he had caught it. But now, in the quiet moments of reflection, he started to question the very nature of what he had built. He penned the words, "Better a patient spirit than a proud one." It was a lesson learned not in the halls of power, but in the solitude of his own heart. He realized that all the control he exerted over his kingdom meant nothing if he couldn't find peace within himself. Power without peace, he discovered, is just noise. It's a constant, deafening roar that drowns out the gentle whisper of truth. True wisdom, he began to understand, isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself. It's about taming the pride, calming the anxieties, and finding a quiet center in the storm of life. Solomon's legacy is etched in stone. He built magnificent cities, awe-inspiring temples, and breathtaking palaces. His architectural and political achievements were undeniable. But as he looked back on his life, he saw that what he built on the outside paled in comparison to what he was building on the inside. Because the heart of a man is a greater kingdom than any earthly throne. You can build empires that crumble to dust, but the character you forge within yourself, the peace you cultivate in your soul, that is a fortress that time cannot erode. The internal kingdom is where the real battles are fought and where the most significant victories are won. This shift in perspective led him to a profound, almost startling conclusion. Looking out at the world he once so desperately sought to conquer, he wrote, "I have seen all things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind." Think about that for a moment. The man who had everything calls it all a chasing after the wind. The power, the fame, the endless pleasures, he saw them for what they were. Fleeting shadows, illusions that promised fulfillment but left him empty. He was outgrowing his throne, not in a physical sense, but in a spiritual one. The crown on his head felt lighter than the questions in his heart. He was shedding the skin of a king defined by his possessions and stepping into the truer identity of a man seeking purpose. What is purpose? For Solomon, it was no longer about accumulation, but about alignment. It wasn't about what he could get, but what he could understand. This journey transformed him from a king who commanded armies to a sage who sought truth. The world would remember his wisdom, his judgments, his wealth. But what truly mattered, what heaven remembered, was his humility. The moment he realized his own limitations, the moment he acknowledged a power greater than himself, was the moment he found true freedom. And maybe that's what real growth is. It's when the crown, the job title, the status symbols no longer define you. It's when you find a peace so profound that it becomes your new identity. This journey from power to purpose is rooted in a fundamental truth that Solomon himself came to embrace. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. This isn't about being scared. It's about a deep, profound respect for something bigger than ourselves. It's the humility to admit that we don't have all the answers. It's the starting point of a quest for meaning that goes beyond the temporary allure of worldly success. When we stand in awe of the grand design of the universe, our own egos shrink and our true purpose begins to shine through. Solomon's story is a timeless reminder that the greatest throne isn't made of gold and ivory, but of peace and humility. It teaches us that our ultimate goal isn't to rule the world, but to understand our place in it. So, as we go about our own lives, chasing our own versions of success, let's take a moment to reflect on Solomon's journey. Are we building a kingdom on the outside while neglecting the one within? Are we chasing the wind, or are we planting seeds of purpose? The ultimate legacy isn't what we own, but who we become. It's about outgrowing our own small thrones, whatever they may be, and stepping into the vast, open field of a purpose-driven life. That is the path to a kingdom that will truly last. Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of wisdom and purpose. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a like and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next journey into the heart of what truly matters. Until next time, keep seeking.